Hello and welcome to Brainy Gardener. Today, it is all about how to grow and care for the Agave Utahensis. Agave Utahensis is an evergreen succulent plant native to Utah and parts of Nevada, California, and Arizona. It's commonly known as the Utah Agave because of its natural habitat. Among agave, it is the most cold-tolerant plant. Hardy down to zones 6 through 10, it is incredibly suited to be grown outside in colder conditions than most other succulents. Blue-green leaves form a tight rosette of succulent leaves. Each leaf is serrated with fine teeth and a terminal spine. Leaves curve upwards to form a deep channel within themselves. It has become increasingly popular due to its drought-tolerant and cold-hardy nature. Agave Utahensis is the recipient of the Award of Garden Merit from the Royal Horticultural Society. The Agave Utahensis is a popular plant with an easy-to-care-for nature. It's also known as the Utah century plant due to its long lifespan. The Agave Utahensis prefers full sun to partial shade. Too much shade will result in poor growth and small leaves. If your agave is not getting enough light, it will grow tall and thin with leggy leaves. In this case, move it into an area where it has more sunlight or supplement its needs with artificial lighting indoors. The Agave Utahensis likes to be kept on the dry side. Agaves require little attention to thrive. Water the plant every 4 to 5 days for the first month or two. After the plant has been established, it needs to be watered 2 to 3 times a month in summer, or more if you're in a low desert location. As a general rule, water it once every 3 weeks during the summer, but do not let it sit in standing water for long periods. In winter, when temperatures drop below 32 degrees Fahrenheit, allow your plant to dry completely and stop watering altogether until spring. In the winter and fall, when growth is suspended, water very lightly. The ideal temperature for Agave Utahensis is between 60 to 85 degrees Fahrenheit. It requires warm temperatures to thrive. It is indigenous to dry and semi-arid tropical areas like Utah and parts of Nevada, California, and Arizona. However, it is frost-hardy to USDA zones 6 through 10, making it extremely cold-tolerant down to about -18 degrees Celsius. The optimum relative humidity level is between 50 to 70%. The humidity level should be controlled as high humidity can lead to damage to the plant. It is important to note that the plant needs to be kept dry in colder weather regardless of frost hardiness. The Utah Agave will give the best results when the temperature conditions are on the warmer side. The Utah Agave is not a heavy feeder. It remains healthy when fed sparingly. It is better to give it a balanced, slow-release fertilizer during the summer months, and no additional nutrients until the following spring. Do not feed during fall and winter. Agave Utahensis can be propagated by offsets. The offsets are small new plants that form at the base of mature agave. Choose healthy offsets from mature plants, then cut the stems of agave pups as close to the mother plant as possible. The stem is the area where the new roots will grow. Offsets can be cut or twisted from the mother plant. Use a sharp knife to cut the offset from the mother plant. Make sure the offset is at least 6 inches long. Allow the cuttings to callus over before planting in a growing medium. Plant your agave in a well-drained soil mix when the callus is formed. Water lightly and keep out of direct sunlight for at least 6 weeks. Place the plant in a shaded area with good air circulation and dry conditions. The soil should stay lightly moist until the plants are established. Keep an eye on the plant and water it when the soil dries out. It is a slow-growing plant, so even if it can be propagated by seeds, this method takes very long, as such is not recommended. Agave Utahensis needs to be repotted when it has outgrown its current container. It is a very slow-growing plant and will take over a decade to reach that stage. When repotting, use a pot that is slightly larger than the one it is currently in. Summer or spring is the best season for repotting, as that's when the plant is actively growing. Ensure the container has drainage holes and is large enough to accommodate the roots. Use a soil mixture that is equal parts sand, compost, and peat moss. Make sure it drains well and doesn't stay too wet for too long. Choose a place in your home that gets bright, indirect light. Gently remove the plant from its container. Remove any dead roots and debris from around the base of the plant. Carefully place the root ball into the potting soil. Cover with soil mixture until no exposed roots are visible. Water well until the water drains from the bottom of the pot. Place the plant in a sunny location and keep watering regularly. Agave Utahensis is mildly toxic, causing a gastrointestinal upset when ingested. In addition, the sap causes skin irritation, so avoid contact with the skin and eyes. These plants are susceptible to agave snout weevils, scale insects, slugs, and snails. The agave snout weevil is a small black insect with a long snout. The adult female lays eggs under the leaf, where it feeds on the agave. It can cause severe plant damage and should be controlled with an insecticide. Scale insects are small, immobile insects that live and feed on the surface of the agave. They can be removed by treating them with neem oil. There are many different species of scale insects, but they all have similar life cycles. Slugs and snails invade agaves, especially during periods of drought. They will eat the leaves and leave behind holes in the foliage. They can also cause severe damage to the plant's roots. Use organic bait to lure them into traps and catch them. Please note and avoid overwatering the plant, placing it under harsh sunlight, using poorly drained potting mediums, and fertilizing during the dormancy period.